Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope you all are doing well at your home, safe and sound, and you are just enjoying your holidays as well and your studies also. Dear students, I welcome you all in Pakistan International School Types virtual learning class for grade 10th. This is biology class and today is lecture number 7. In that we will see chapter homeostasis. Actually we have started homeostasis before. So today we are gonna study some of the topics. Today we will start a urinary system of humans. In this topic we will see structure of kidneys, because we know that urinary system is comprised of kidneys. So let's get started. Dear students, we will start the urinary system of humans. If you see in this image, there are two kidneys in the human's abdominal cavity. So if we talk about a urinary system, so we know that excretory or urinary system is the same thing, and that is the body's drainage system for removing urine, which is composed of waste and extra fluid which is produced in the body. Urinary system consists of kidneys, a pair of kidneys. Then we will see its structure as well, but right now in this image you can see a pair of kidneys are present in the human body. Then in the kidney, the main functional unit of this urinary system or excretory system, that is nephron. So we will study about nephron as well, that its structure and its function also. Then ureters, then it means that the kidneys, they are just connected with two tubes out of those kidneys. They move out of the kidney and transport urine to the bladder. If you see, these two kidneys are present, so two ureters will be present, like two tubes like structures will be present, which connects the kidney and collects the urine from the kidney to the bladder. Then bladder, what is it actually? It is the pouch like or bag like structure which is present at the lower abdomen of our body, that holds the urine up to a specific time and located at the lower abdomen level. Urethra is the last organ of the body from which the urine or urine in the like it carries out all the substances, waste materials from our body, and that it removes out of our body. That is through urethra. So that is a tube at the bottom of the bladder, and that leads outside of the body to release the urine or waste out of the body. So our urinary or excretory system is composed of number 1, kidneys, then ureters, then bladder, and number 4, urethra. And excluding this all, there is including all these, there is a very important role of one more organ, that is nephron. What are nephrons? We will study after a few minutes. Then if we talk about structure of kidney, so first we have to know about its shape, its size, its location, so we can identify if we are having any problem, that where we are gonna find our kidneys. So kidney's shape is a red bean. Its shape is bean-like, and its color is dark red. You might have seen the red beans. Those are called red kidney beans, which we just cook and eat. It's very delicious. So they are having the structure like this. Okay. So if we talk about the size, so size is 10 centimeter long, and like from the top to the bottom, it is 10 centimeter. 5 centimeter is width, and 4 centimeter is thick from this side to the other side. So that is thick about 4 centimeter. And it weighs almost 27 grams. Okay, if we see that the positions of these two, so they are located against the back wall of the abdominal cavity, back wall, like at the back side of our body. Below the diaphragm, yes, we know that here is diaphragm. So below the diaphragm, they are located, and one on the either side of the vertebral column, which just move in the center of our body. So they are protected by last two ribs. These are the floating ribs. Actually, in this diagram, they are a little bit higher, but these two floating ribs, they just protect them against any shock. So left kidney is a little higher than the right one. That is due to the presence of what? Liver. Yes, presence of liver in the body. Because liver is too large organ. That is the largest, what we can say, endocrine gland, largest gland in the body. So it compresses that just a little bit downward. Okay, so let's just talk about the structure of kidney in detail. If we see the internal structure, or we see the cross section of the kidney, so you can find this like this. So you can see here, there are different things present or somehow complicated as well. But we can say that kidney is composed of two main parts. Okay, two main parts, and one very important tube that is called ureter. But first of all, we will see that kidney is having a depression which makes it bean-like structure like this. So this depression, that is called hilus or hilum. That hilus is actually, it is depressed from here. It is having great role because in this depression, lots of vessels are entering here, or like leaving this kidney. For example, renal artery. Okay, one more thing, whenever the word renal comes, it means related to kidney. So renal artery, renal vein. Renal artery is having oxygenated blood, which just supplies the oxygenated blood to the kidney, as well as a renal vein that it moves out of the kidney. One other just organ or one other vessel is present, that is called a renal pelvis. That area of a ureter, that is called pelvis. That is the broad area, and that is having like connection with all the structures which are present inside it, and then it collects here at a place that is called pelvis, that is called renal pelvis, and then it gonna continue to the ureter. So it means all the urine from all the kidneys, like at one side, or then the same structure is present on the other side of the kidney, and all the urine is collected from different type of structures. These are different nephrons, we'll discuss in after a few minutes. So when just they are collected in the pelvis and then it is continued to move into the ureter. So what is the function of hilus? We have discussed that ureters, blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, nerves enters or leave the kidneys from here. Lymphatic vessels, we are with circulatory system, we are having lymphatic system also, and that carries the drainage of our body also. So we will discuss it in the next classes inshallah in detail, but right now in your book that this concept is just like just a brief concept. You must know that that is also the drainage system of our body. Okay, now we will see more detail that kidneys are having or divided into two regions. You can see this line. One region outside region that is called a renal cortex. Renal cortex, that is the outer part of the kidney, dark red in color, dark red in color. And if we see the inner part of this one, this all, that is called a renal medulla. So that is having pale red in color, and it is also having certain things in it. In medulla, renal pyramids are located. These pyramids, why they are called pyramids? Because they are like this structure, like conical structure. They are cone-shaped structure, like pyramids you have seen like this. They are almost like these structures. So that's why they are called renal pyramids, which are present in the kidney, and they project into a funnel-shaped cavity called a renal pelvis, the base of the ureter. We have discussed renal pelvis before, that in this area, these all project and connected to the renal pelvis, and then renal pelvis continue to the ureter. Okay, we will see the next one. Very, very important and functional unit of microscope. Functional unit of that kidney, that is microscopic structural and functional unit of the kidney, which plays role in hemostasis. So there are almost 1.1 to 1.5 million nephrons in each kidney in adult human. And these nephrons are very, very thin because they are microscopic structures. If you see in this kidney, this is whole part of the renal pyramid, that is the renal cortex, the outer one and the inner one as well. So this outer and inner, so renal pyramid, this nephron is started from the cortex and it leads towards the medulla. Outer is cortex and inner part is medulla. Okay, so you can see here that that is the major portion of this nephron that is present in cortex, and the tubular part is present in renal medulla. And then we are having lots of nephrons just connected with one collecting duct, and then lots of collecting ducts just move into the renal pelvis and then they go into the ureter. You can see here the structure of nephron. Nephron is composed of mainly two parts, a renal corpuscle and a renal. First is a renal corpuscle and the next one is a renal tubule. Okay, so renal corpuscle, the renal corpuscle consists of glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. So if we see here that nephron are composed of certain parts, we can see renal corpuscle and a renal tubule. Right now, we'll see renal corpuscle. Renal corpuscle actually is a rounded structure and it consists of two parts, glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. Glomerulus, what is glomerulus? Glomerulus is actually the tuft of capillaries. Lots of capillaries are present in the glomerulus. And actually these capillaries are having a great role. They are playing great role in this urination process. And what is its role? That how do having the function in hemostasis, because these are the capillaries which are present in glomerulus, that due to present these capillaries, the blood comes from whole of the body and enters into the capillaries into the glomerulus, and due to this there is filtration process in the glomerulus, and uh, due to this filtration process, wastage is removed from the blood and that's come um, into our kidney, and then urine is formed. We will discuss its whole function inshallah as well in the next lecture. Okay, so the next is Bowman's capsule. In Bowman's capsule, a cup, what is that actually? That is capsule-like structure or cup-like structure which encloses glomerulus. So they are not present freely, but these tuft of capillaries or a bunch of capillaries are just enclosed in a Bowman's capsule. Bowman's is given the name after the scientist who discovered this. Okay, one part is renal corpuscle and the other is renal tubule. If we talk about a renal tubule, then we will see it is also having different parts. The first part, proximal convoluted tubule. They are called convoluted tubule because they are twisted around and they are tube-like structures, and they are proximal means the first one. They are after the Bowman's capsule, it is connected with proximal convoluted tubule, means it is very first part of the tubule. So what is its function? It regulates the pH of filtrate in the kidneys. How does it regulate this all process? We will discuss in functioning of nephrons or kidneys. Then we will see loop of Henle, that is U-shaped tube. Its function is to reabsorption of water. So in our body, water is also reabsorbed at like whenever this filtration process is done. Like if our body is dehydrated, or if your body is like having lots of water present, so according to that, reabsorption of water is occurred. The last part of this tubule is distal convoluted tubule. Distal means at the back, convoluted tube. It reabsorbs calcium, sodium, and chloride ions and regulates the pH of urine. That is also happening here. We will discuss inshallah in the next lecture about the functioning of kidneys. So if we talk about uh, mm, these nephrons, so nephrons, the distal convoluted tubule is connected with the collecting duct. And the collecting duct, these are called DCT, have many nephrons open in a single collecting duct, and lots of collecting duct are just joined with papillary duct, and collecting ducts joined from several hundred papillary ducts which drain into the renal pelvis, and then they drain into the ureter. We have just seen before, and now we will see its detail also, so that you can understand its function properly. Okay, dear students, if you see in this diagram, this is kidney, internal view of that. These are all millions of nephrons. If you see this one, this enlightened one, this is Bowman's capsule. This is PCT, proximal convoluted tube. This is loop of Henle, and the next one is distal convoluted tubule. So you can see lots of nephrons are present in one kidney. So these blue are veins, and the arteries are also there. Now we will see the structure of Bowman's capsule, that it is capsule-like a structure in which this all around very thin layered, but inside it there are tuft of capillaries that is called glomerulus. Glomerulus is present in that, and by which blood is coming inside it, and then after filtering it is going outside of the glomerulus and then Bowman's capsule. You can see here the glomerulus, and then from here blood is coming out and going inside and then coming out through the with vein, renal vein. Okay, so you can see here the microscopic structure as well, cross section of like one pyramid is there. So you can see here is it starts from cortex and then reaches into the medulla. This is a renal pyramid. Sorry, this one is renal pyramid, but it starts from upper side. This one is glomerulus. We can see it enlarged view, glomerulus, and inside lots of blood capillaries are there. One more thing is to be noted, that the capillary which comes, the artery which comes inside, that is called renal artery, then it is divided into lots of arterioles, and then it is divided into efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole is having larger diameter, and more blood comes inside the glomerulus. And efferent means towards the organ. The arteriole which carries the blood towards the organ, like here, arteriole just carrying the blood towards the Bowman's capsule towards the glomerulus, so that's why it's called efferent arteriole. Opposite to that, here is, we can say that is efferent arteriole. That is from E, it means from exit, like they exit the part. So the blood carried away is carried away by efferent artery, like they takes the blood out of that part, away from that part. That is why it's called efferent arteriole, and it is having less diameter. Okay, so here is the difference, like these efferent arterioles are having more diameter, and when they go into the glomerulus they are having less diameter, and due to this less diameter the blood moves forcefully inside it, and due to that force by diffusion the waste material just filtered out into this Bowman's capsule, and then from Bowman's capsule it just moves into the proximal convoluted tubule. Then it goes into from here proximal convoluted tube, then into loop of Henle. This is loop of Henle, very long U-shaped structure, and that is thin also. Then it moves out into distal convoluted tubule, then into collecting duct, and then down into papillary duct, and then into the pelvis. So this is the route of the urine formation. So you can see here one more thing. These are peritubular capillaries. We will discuss its function in the functioning of the kidney in the next lecture, inshallah. These are the capillaries which are surrounding this whole nephron. These are called peritubular capillaries. So dear students, I hope you understood this lecture and you have just seen clearly the structure of kidneys, its location, and its internal structure as well. And then we have seen the functional unit of kidney, that is nephron, and its structure as well. Inshallah, in the next lecture, we will see the functioning of the kidney, in which there is the major role played by nephron. So it means whole of the function is carried out by the nephrons, and we will see in detail how the urine is formed and how the wastage are removed from the body. Inshallah, we will see you in the next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz, wish you all the best.